share the time.
All right, guys, what's up? We have an emergency podcast recording session here. Yeah, I'm kicking the feet up because it's been a long dang day. But it's Friday evening. We just finished up playing at Winter Park with Matt Ginella and his Skins group. You know, it's the Skins match. First time I'd ever been at Winter Park. I think the same for you, Dante.
That is definitely correct.
Yeah.
I didn't actually hear of it until, word spread that Matt Ginella, belonged there and always had this Skins game, and actually through a couple buddies of mine that were telling me, hey, if you ever get down there, play Winter Park, see if you can get the Friday
Shout out to Carl
Skins
Puglisi,
game.
right? Shout out to Carl.
And Mikey Hoffman.
Yeah, I mean, thanks everyone who's recommended that we get in touch with Matt Ginella and play at Winter Park. It was amazing. I think is a short way to say it. I mean, we're gonna get into it here in a bit of just every hole and how incredible of an experience it was.
Yeah, and I think you can actually call it, as some would say, a cliche, but it is a true gem. Even if Matt Ginella's face wasn't around the Winter Park 9, I know he's definitely from what I heard, he put a lot of, work into it and exposure, and they definitely, worked the course up from before. I mean, the course is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
You walk on it today, you wouldn't even think so, which was insane.
And I think the testament to how it's so old is everything in Winter Park is built around it. There's literally 10 yards off any hole, a community. And whether it's houses, whether it's train tracks, whether it's actual roads that just border everything, you are literally enveloped in Winter Park.
You were basically in a development, and the houses are gorgeous that are surrounding the out of bounds area of the courses itself. I mean, it was just I don't have any words.
Yeah, there was many times today.
Granted, I'm exhausted.
I mean, we are beat, guys. Excuse the maybe lack of thought at some point between us because we are beat. But we just we got back, and we were shooting the shit about Winter Park, and we were like, listen, people need to know how amazing this experience was and how just great every hole is. Every hole is memorable there. There's not like one part or one shot I had today that didn't challenge me, didn't make me think about the way I was going to hit it, and didn't make me appreciate for what the layout was. And it was just fun, man. We played a tensome.
11 people. We had 50 plus guys that played in this match, this Skins match. That's what we played, which was nice. So you didn't have to worry about slow play or anything. We moved through the course, no problem.
Yeah. And it was so cool.
And it was just kind of cool to meet. I mean, we were playing with kids from Nashville. We were playing with, local, a lot of guys, half the group, they all were from the area.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah. And they were busting their balls left and right. And it was great to see because that's what it's about. I mean, it's getting a community. It's getting people from all over the country, maybe even all over the world. We had media guys there that were from Australia. We met up with them. And they were just
from Melbourne, Australia.
They were just great to speak with. And the guy, he goes, damn, I really wish I had my clubs right now.
Yeah, it was so neat. Now I know it's not the standard to have that many people. We had 56 people or something like that show up for the Skins match. Usually they set it somewhere around like 25 to 30.
Yeah, I remember last week he posted, or the Instagram account for Winter Park also posted that they had 31 guys there, which is a decent sized game.
Still a great showing, and they usually always do tensomes, so it's just like 3 groups or something like that. So
yeah, they get like the last 3 to 5 tee times of the day, so you're really not holding up anybody up. It's the Skins match, and there it is.
Yeah, there was no one behind us. There's no one holding up, and even that, we played at a great speed for 10 people. I mean, to preface that, we walk in, we pay for our round, and we for everyone out there, if you want to play in this, call early. Call if you're going to be in the Orlando Winter Park area. Call a week or two in ahead. He has them every Friday, from the way I understand it. Whether he's there or not, someone runs a skins match there on Fridays. So it's an ever-going thing. And the minute we walk in, we sign up. Matt Ginella and whoever else is out there is sitting on the back patio, kind of just collecting money. And the first thing he tells us is, "Yeah, well, boys, pick up after birdie." So that was cool.
Yeah, and I was going to get into that because I thought that was cool too because he's just said, go for birdies and go for eagles. And you're thinking, wow, really? Are people going to be just hitting birdies left and right on every hole in eagle? This is going to be tough. But the course is challenging itself.
Yeah.
I mean, it's short. And what I like about it, it's great because it's challenging for the top pro, and it's challenging, but it's also playable for the juniors,
and we
the
had
adolescents. We had it. Yeah. That kid striped the ball,
smoking it.
Yeah, I was like, I want your swing, kid.
Yeah, no, we.
But that's the thing. Like anybody can play. Anybody can play. Any gender. It was just phenomenal.
The black tees. I got the scorecard in my hand here. The black tees, all the way back. 2480.
Short.
2480. That's the
yardage
of the entire course.
Let's just run through first hole 240 from the tips.
From the tips. Now
it's a wide fairway.
I should have been.
Yeah. This guy got lucky and almost put it. It was looking like it was going to the street.
So first hole of the day, we're second group off. The first Tensum had already gone off, and
we were we second? We were second.
Yeah, we were second group off. Wide open fairway. I mean, drive a couple tractor trailers through it sideways. There's a road to the right. It's how you come into the course. I chose to blast one at the road. Now, there's a couple trees. Luckily enough, got lucky, and it knocked it back into play. But the first hole immediately on the approach shot challenges you. The green, every green's incredibly undulated.
They're undulated. They're the turtleback greens.
Yep.
They're small. I mean, they were quick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially coming from the Northeast and what we've been playing on. Oh man, it's tough to just transition from not playing and playing winter fuzzy greens because let's face it, we shouldn't be playing this time of year to coming down, and this is their peak season. And the greens, even from tee box to green, tee to green, the conditions were just amazing.
If you hit it down the fairway, you never had a bad lie.
No.
So, I mean, first hole, I got lucky, smacked it off the trees, ended up hitting an all-right approach shot, had a look at birdie, and I'm salivating. I'm like, man, 50 guys, 40 apiece. Get my name on a skin.
Mm-hmm.
Not even close. Didn't
nope.
run it.
It took us what? We had 3 birdies through – I think 7 holes.
Yeah, through 11 guys.
Yeah.
We had 3 birdies on a short course.
Mm-hmm.
Just to put that in perspective, 11 guys on a short course, and 3/4 of those guys could stripe it to at least put it in a percentage close enough to the hole where you had a shot at birdie. Just put that in perspective, because that's how challenging this place is for 2,400 yards.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to the first hole, you're looking at 240. So now you're playing a big mental game. Now you're like, all right, well, it's birdie or better or bust.
Yeah.
So you're thinking, all right, these guys can probably play because they know this game. You can play pretty much year round here. So you got guys they're coming out to play, and they play pretty frequently and consistently. So, and the guys we play with all can hit the ball solid. I mean, there was a couple bad shots here and there, but fractions from what I saw. So now you're thinking, all right, well, do I pull hybrid 3-wood? Some guys maybe driver if I need to get it there. Do I go for that green? But behind that green, road, cars passing left and right, and that's what I thought was really cool. There was cars, and we were playing pretty much at rush hour time.
Yeah.
So everybody's coming back home from work.
Friday at 4:30.
Friday afternoon. You got people coming back. So there's just cars, just one after the other, just lined up, just driving through. And it almost seemed when you were walking through the course, you were always crossing the street and cars had to stop. So there was cars in the way. And you basically had, when you got around the green, there was really not much room for error.
Nope.
So now you really had to think. I pulled 5-iron off the first tee, pulled it in between hole 1 and 9. And then had to try and punch a gap wedge to try and get it to the green, just to get it on the green, which I did. But since it was undulated, that thing rolled right back. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Flubbed the chip, picked up, on to the next hole. Gone. It's like, all right, well, no skin there.
Now let's talk about that second hole. For a short course at 2,500 or 2,480, they have 2 par 5s. And they're challenging.
Back to back.
If you don't hit a good drive off of 2, it's rough. And again, I had a case of the rights.
You definitely had the
one far right. And you striped one right down the middle.
Oh, that was my best drive.
Yeah.
But I think that was my best swing of the day. I mean, that just felt so nice. And I think it was a 430 par 5, so it was super short.
Survey says 430. Oh, I skipped a hole.
We skipped a hole.
How dare I skip a hole on freaking Winter Park?
That's because we remember that hole. That's why. Because it was a good hole for both of us.
Yes. Yeah. So, second hole, let's backtrack here. Second hole is 146-yard par 3.
You cross the street to get there.
Yep. So, you walk straight across.
Yep.
And I had a pretty good shot. Hit 7-iron like 15 feet, had another birdie look. I'm thinking, all right, 2 holes, 2 birdie looks. This place can't be that hard. You know?
Oh, I hit 8-iron, came up short. I had about maybe a 20, 25 footer uphill. Yeah. Well, actually, it was actually pretty straight, but there was this little mound I had to get up over. And I'm like, okay. So I hit my putt, and I had a nice new putter, courtesy of S. Putters. Shout out to you, Steve. But this mound seems small, but it wasn't. It was actually a lot greater because, I mean, that was tracking online, and I came up maybe a foot short.
Well, so there was 5 guys in our group that was around your vicinity when they ended up, in that kind of collection area, as it looked like, on that green, and no one got it to the hole.
No.
That's how intense this hill was up to the back tier.
You don't see it to the naked eye. You do see this little mound, and you see that it's uphill. Once that ball went over, and I hit it pretty solid.
Yeah.
Once I got to the hill, I'm like, all right, we're looking good. And it stopped. And I was like, all right. So I picked up my ball. We had I was the second guy, I think, that went.
Yeah.
So, we had a few more guys that still had to play. So I just basically walked to the next hole.
That was cool, too. And it speaks to the way they play the skins match. There was like 4 guys that also missed the green. And 2 guys that put it like OB kind of deal in their pockets. Done. Out of the hole. So, and then guys hit chip shots. Didn't get close. Not a birdie. Out of the hole. So, things move. Things moved along really well for this. And there was never, in my mind, a pace of play issue, even within the group when we had 10+. So,
I mean, the only time we waited is because there was a short par 4 and some guys wanted to go for it. So they waited for the green to clear. And that took like seconds.
If it didn't even
because
feel
there
like
was 10 people on the green having the putt.
It didn't even feel like we were waiting. And so back to 2. I hit one on the green. Right tier. I got it back there.
Yeah, you're on the right tier. You're on the back right.
Second putt. Didn't sniff it.
Nah.
Again.
Yeah.
0 for 2.
I had my bag on my shoulder walking the next hole as I saw you miss that putt. I was like, all right, we're good.
No confidence in me at all.
Nope.
He saw me on the first. I was like, I don't need to watch this kid putt the rest of the day. So anyway, then you walk across the road again. First hole, green, road, second tee box. Second green, right beside you is a road. Cross that road, another hole, number 3, the par 5. You striped your drive. I blew it wide right. So we're at our approach shots pretty much because this short par 5, 430. I had about 150 left.
Yeah, I had about 136.
Yeah.
But actually it was deceiving to my eye because the way that hole kind of went almost was in a pyramid-esque because as you look down, it looked like everything got tighter. That was to my
it bottlenecked.
And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at it. I scope it, 136, I believe. Like, all right, cool. 136. All right, cool. I can just smooth a nice 9 for me. And I hit it a little thin and a little right, and I'm on the back of the green. Pin was front. Yeah. Pin was front left. So you got to be kidding me.
I thought that was one of the firmer greens on the course just by like walking on it. I could like almost feel it under my feet. That green had a lot. I don't know what it was.
I think that might have been the flattest green too.
And it was flat, but the little undulation it had was in the front. So it went from front to back, you know? And I think that's why it rolled out so much. Because I watched your shot. I'm like, oh, that'd be a good shot, like 10, 15 feet. It just kept rolling and rolling and rolling. It was crazy to see.
I mean, you hit it probably shot of the day for you.
Yeah, this was in my head the way it was supposed to happen. But you know this never happens. I was so far right. I hit a 5-iron, about 150, really played it low back in my stance, didn't get more than like 10 feet off the ground. But it had to fish itself through about 30 trees. I was in jail over there. And this thing flies through, doesn't hit a thing, doesn't nick anything, hits the ground, runs up, one hops, hits the pin, drops almost what looked like straight down, and then kind of squirts away a little bit. Guys in the group thought it had a chance to go in.
Yeah. I heard some guys saying, ooh, get in. And the thing was, from your tee shot, because there was a few guys that pushed it right.
Yeah.
Because actually the funny thing was, our buddy Carl, I was going back and forth with him because he's played it a few times and he's actually played in the Skins game. And, you know, I read an article on the course and how to play it because, you know, you're putting up some money and it'd be nice to kind of go there, you know, put your face to the name and, you know, wow, these guys can play and see if we can come out and win, you know, get some money back, you know, because that's what I like about the skin, you know, or the skins game or playing for money is, you know, you have, you know, you're competing against yourself, but you're also competing against others. And there's something to actually try and strive to win for.
Sure.
And I do really like that a part about golf too, even playing just on a weekend game, because you can still push yourself rather than just going out and cracking a few beers and just enjoying the walk through the round, which is no problem. I like that as well. And if you guys like that more than just playing, I always like playing for a game now. Ever since I joined the club,
there's just always
there's got to be some type of incentive.
There's something to be said too. It's really cool. Like 50 some people that were out there today and 30 on a normal day, forking up $40 a piece and saying, yeah, let's just play for it.
Let's go.
Like, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
And to have that vibe today where like, it was cool. Like everyone put in their $40, but no one was selfish about it. Like in our group, everyone wanted everyone in that group to make a birdie.
Yeah, everybody was cheering for everybody.
Yeah, every shot we were like, "Come on, man, get there," or like, "Get close." And then we'll get into a little later. We had some hole one scares today.
Yeah.
So which was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, and it was almost more as a Skins team match in a way too, the way it felt, because you had your group of guys, and that was cool too. Like while Dalton's hitting his shot, I'm sitting there, you know, BSing with 3 or 4 other guys, asking where they're from, what do they do, you know, hey, what got you here, kind of thing.
Today was the beauty of the game, really just like on display, and why I love it so much, and why we started Enjoy the Walk. You get to meet so many people through this game from all walks of life. Like we said, with the production people from with Link Soul, they were from Australia, and guys from Nashville today, and like all for a common cause of picking up 14 clubs and a little white ball and trying to make the best score possible. Like it's all for a common cause. That's a rudimentary level. That's just all it is.
100%. And it was just, and I was told too that when you go out and you play in this game, you get a different perspective on golf. You know, I played leisure with my dad every now and then, got into it to score, and was all about just trying to grind out and just play local AM stuff and just keep getting better, which I still want to do, obviously,
100%.
But to come and play this, you do get a completely different perspective on the game.
Where else are you going to go playing an 11th some?
Yeah.
Nowhere.
Never.
So
No course.
many clubs
No
frown
course.
upon that, like to the point of like, get out if you're like thinking like that, you know, or if you like propose such a
And the beauty of it,
monstrosity of an idea.
99% of us walked because it's that sort of
there
a course.
There was one gentleman that I think had some sort of like disability in his leg or something that he was riding.
No biggie.
But no, join us, man.
Yeah.
I don't hate people who ride. Like,
No.
I don't discriminate on people who ride.
But it was just awesome to see. Everybody
cool
just threw the bags on their shoulders and just went.
I mean, you know, you can check out our Instagram. I put a whole story up that I saved in our highlights @_enjoy the walk. You can recap our whole day that was documented. I didn't do much content because I was
trying to soak it in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a testament in its own right that like I just wanted to get everyone's story that we were playing with and just meet people and just understand where they're from and whatever, and kind of what we do with this podcast, just get their story of, you know, what do you do with golf? Is it your thing? Do you do it all the time? Do you do this? What do you do for a living? You know, like all that cool stuff. And I just, I did a couple pictures early and I think one picture on 18 and a video when people were coming after we were off the course, but I didn't do much on the course because I was just taking everything in.
Absolutely. I mean, same thing. I mean, the views of the course were, I mean, that par 5-3, you walk down, you look to your left. I believe it was either a church or a library.
Yeah, it was a Baptist church.
Yeah, you're walking, and then we get to go into the next hole, the next par 5, right? That's near 500 yards, dog leg left.
Great hole. One of my favorites we played today.
250. So there's a bunker on the right where the break of the dog leg is. It's a big bunker. Mm-hmm. It's about 250 to carry it. Yeah. If I was a little bit more right, I would have had it. And I wasn't really intended to go on that line.
Sure.
And
little tug, right?
A little tug. But left of that was OB and a cemetery.
So we had a guy hit one in there.
Yeah. We thought he was chipping off some gravestones. Oh, man,
the boys were chirping him, oh, you're dead in there, just like stuff like that. So, I mean, and it's just the camaraderie came together so quickly with the group. There was not a person in that group, but after the second hole that I didn't think I couldn't just shoot the shit with.
And you know what? And I think all the time I've noticed, even playing in my home track or even playing back at home, in New Jersey or PA or Delaware or wherever I want to, decide to say I want to play somewhere else, and you get paired up with 2 different strangers or 3 different strangers. It always takes about maybe a few holes to be like, oh, you know what? These guys aren't snobs. These guys aren't assholes. These guys are good guys, and everything starts to lighten up. And I think that's that turning point is when we got to that hole, because 6 of the guys were actually, they were buddies.
Yeah.
They were the locals.
Yep.
And that was the cool thing. It was not just people it was those from, out of state, but you also got the locals who do this on a regular basis.
Their thing. Like it's like their men's league or whatever. It's like the thing they do every Friday.
Yeah. And I was like, you play this in pretty often? They're like, yeah, every now and then. And I'm just sitting there. That's awesome, because you and I talk about it, and even back, friends back home that say, hey, if you ever get down there playing the Winter Park,
it's like the
Skins game. That's the bucket list thing to do, and it's definitely a bucket list for those that are not in the Orlando area or even in a remote close drive.
I mean, hell, even if you're in the Orlando area, make the freaking trip, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Driving distance. Now, I don't know what people consider driving distance. It may be whatever it is to you, but if you're within driving distance, take a half day.
I'd say 2 hours is fun.
Yeah, just go to take off Friday. Just go down. Spend the day. They have a $10 replay rate, too. We found that out with the lady that was in front of us.
Yeah, she went out and played just to play the course.
She played in the morning, and then right as soon as she was done, she's like, oh, there's a Skins game?
She sprinted right back, went in.
$10 replay for this place?
She goes, I'm here for the replay. Got in. And that was awesome. She was very energetic. She was very, very cool to talk to. She loved the course.
And that's the other thing, that Winter Park is in such an affluent part of that town, yet it is so cheap to play. And they want to keep that mentality of cheap, because it goes back to the morals of the game, of getting people out to play, not the country club social aspect, just getting people out to play. and enjoy the game for what it is.
And that's what even Ginella said.
Yeah.
Because you guys enjoy the walk? And I was like, yes, we did.
Yeah, I'm like, I see you, sly bastard. I see what you did there. But and I mean, it was just so neat, and like, it was that turning point on number 5. Just to get back to the course here, that turning point on 5 when the first guy up duck hooks one into the cemetery.
4.
I'm sorry.
4.
You're right. Number 4 is the par 5 we're talking about.
Yeah, because 3 is a par 5.
Yeah.
4 is a par 5.
Yeah, back-to-back par 5s, 3 and 4. So 4 is the one with the cemetery on the left. And the minute that happened, and the group kind of just bonded over this guy's demise of losing a ball in the cemetery.
And then his buddy goes up and cuts the corner and smokes it.
Smoke show.
Because he was struggling. Because I backtracked to 3, he pulled hybrid, and I was going to pull I was going to pull hybrid as well, because it was a shorter par 4, and there was this bunker to the left in the front. Right? No, that was a par. Yeah, that was a par 5. Excuse me. Yeah, 3 was also a par 5. I apologize. We go to 3. Everybody's pulling driver, and the kid was a little not. I guess he's like, oh man, I'm gonna hit this right. You know what he does? He pushed that thing right. He went right into someone's yard, and he's just like, I'm out. And then I think it actually kicked back, and he was able to play it. But
I did see him play it. Yeah.
We get to 4, and he just, after his buddy snap hooked it into the cemetery, he just pulls up and just hits a little tight rope draw right over that bunker. And I think he flew it clearly, and he was maybe 50 yards past it.
It was insane, because I also busted one on that hole.
Yeah, if you guys went right.
I was like 20 yards behind.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So, like, this hole was special because the bunkering on the right side of this hole kept you true, but they tucked the pin right behind that bunker, no more than like 4 yards off of this bunker.
I put mine in the bunker, and I mean, you have the purest and flushest of sand. And Dawn's like, I think you cleared. I was like, nah, man, I knew that went in the bunker.
I was praying you cleared.
I know. I was like, my low ball flight, that's in the bunker. So I went up there, and I'm telling Dalton, I'm just hoping that ball's in the flat spot of the bunker. Here I am. I'm on like the hill part of it. So I just open up like a 9-iron and just well at it. And I actually clipped it and got it out. But I had a nice gap wedge in, perfect number. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, I need to try and get this high in the air, because you say you had a 10-yard green, it made it a 2-yard green because of where the pin was, and it was on the top of the tabletop. Well, I thinned it, and I got stuck behind a tree and said, well, on to the next hole.
Right. Yep.
I put it on 2 holes after 4 so far.
And there was a little wind going today, which kind of like was really testy in some parts. Like I ripped a 4-iron in on the second shot on this par 5. Thought I had plenty of club, and the wind just started busting in my face and was just like, hey, you're short by 20. I was 20 yards short. So tried to get cute with a little flop shot, and didn't really work out, and had a putt at it, but no such luck. So then we move on to number 5. Cool little par 3. Nope, just kidding. We'll edit that out.
That's the handicap of the hole. Par 4.
Par 4.
It's
straight away.
It's pretty straight away. It's actually slightly downhill. There's a bunker actually left, and then kind of, if you're hitting driver, for most guys of our age and our caliber, your landing spot is probably by that bunker.
Just on the other side of it. Yeah.
Yeah, just on the other side of it. And if you're landing kind of parallel with that bunker, to the right is tree lines. There's trees.
Yep.
There's a bunch of trees
because it separates the next hole.
The next hole, which we will get into. So now you're sitting there, okay, well, do I pull driver and just try and bomb it over that bunker? And if you hit it, basically it sets up for a nice draw and then a nice flip wedge. But if you don't execute that shot, and you hit it short or you hit it left, you're in the street, you're in the neighborhood, you're in that bunker, or if you block it right, you're in the trees.
There's
and
a scenario
you're
like that on
mulch.
every hole.
I
It's
know.
crazy.
So
your options are
now,
trees or road.
Exactly, pretty much. Now you're thinking, okay, do I play my game? And I had a strategy going in there, and then the ego came in and just following everybody's suit because I had a game plan, and I was only going to pull actually driver on one hole, and that was the long par 5.
Mm-hmm.
I did not follow my game plan. I should have followed my game plan, but whatever. We were out there enjoying it.
Gotta let the big dog rip.
Yeah. Actually, after I hit it on 3 and then hit it on 4, which I actually hit a good shot. I just pulled it a little bit and went in that bunker.
Mm-hmm.
And from last night at Top Golf, I was actually hitting the driver really well. So I was very confident with it. So I was like, all right, well, just go with what you're confident with. So, I pull a driver and I block it into the tree, and you blocked it into the tree, and my ball landed wedged in between the tree root. I said, well, I can't go for birdie for that because there's another tall willow looking tree that if you're in that tree line, that tree is now blocking because the pin was tucked back right.
It was so strategically well placed for that pin position. This tree, because if you're in the trees, but if that tree wasn't there, you could dribble one with a putter up to the green and it'd be an easy shot.
And you know what? I was looking back and I even saw Ginella a lot of the stuff around the green, even in the rough, because the rough, it's Bermuda looking grass. So it's not real long and deep and whatnot. So the ball kind of sits either in or on top, and it was cut pretty short. He was hitting putter.
Yeah.
He was pulling putter a lot and just Texas wedging it.
We're going to get into that. I love the way he played at number 9 coming in. But
oh, yeah.
So, I'm in the trees again, right?
I picked up. I'm out.
I hit this magical shot on 2 or 3. I'm sorry. I hit this magical shot out of the trees on 2. So I'm thinking,
let's do it again.
5-iron, same magic, right? No such case.
He hit it so pure, it came out too hot. And since the green's very tabletop, it went off the green. And now he had to wedge it on.
This thing was like a rabbit running across that green. It picked up speed as it hit the green. So
obviously, you're trying to, when you're off the green hitting your third shot, it's do or die. So
gotta
make it. So you're just going after the pin. So you're just like, why not? Let me just try it.
I mean, and I tell you what, it was one of my better chip shots of the day too. I kind of bump and ran a pitching wedge off the back, and it's really tough to play a chip shot from off those greens because of all the undulation. You really have to think about where your first landing spot's going to be and how that's going to really affect it, because the first landing spot for me was on the down slope that went to the left pretty hard. It was like, well, this thing's going to jump the minute it hits that slope. So it was tough to read. And I mean, I gave it a run, but just didn't get there. So no birdie for me on that hole.
Yeah. And then we get to 6, which kind of was my light bulb. I guess I went off the head that this course is very challenging, and you have to think on how you want to play your shots, how you want to play the hole, because on the card, from the tips, it's a 262-yard par 4.
Mm-hmm.
The tees were, I guess, up because when you scoped it, it was 227 yards to the pin.
And the pin was front right too. So it was also
right. Wait till we get to this green. But talk about the trees that connected to the previous hole. Those trees are where that pin was, and even where the green, it blocks most of it. So it's basically a dogleg right. It goes out maybe about 215 to 20 yards, and then it just hard right pretty much.
Like an L, pretty much.
It's pretty much an L. And so, kids are pulling 3-woods and they're pulling hybrids, and they're just hitting these high bombs trying to go and land on the green. And it was cool to see. Me, I said, you know what? I'm just going to play my game and go with my game plan and just, get it out there and just try and get a wedge on. I pull a 4-iron, and actually it was pretty solid. Went out there, I had like a little flip wedge in there, and you hooked the hybrid. Is that what happened?
Yeah. So I had so much room, and I know I have a high ball flight, so I knew the trees weren't a problem for me. So I was like, all right, tee it high, let it fly. And I really didn't think about the pin position too much. I was like, all right, worst case scenario, I'm in the bunker. I snap hook the hell out of this thing, and I end up way left of the bunker. Even with the green, it was plenty of club. If the pin was anywhere else, I'm making birdie there.
You're on the green.
I was just left. I had to chip.
You chipped.
I was on the fringe.
You chipped on there. Okay.
But
and I was maybe about 10 yards short of you, 10, 15 yards short of you. And where our balls were.
Prime
to where this pin was. I believe this was the largest green.
We make birdie if that pin's anywhere else on the green.
Pretty much. So where this pin was, and now going back to knowing what shot you're gonna hit and how precise you have to be and where you want to place it. My ball, I was very happy with my strike. I was very happy with my swing and where the outcome of the distance and the ball went. When I got up to my ball, I look at the pin. The green is basically a horseshoe, and there's this bunker that's just sitting in the middle.
Yeah, and you can't tell that from the tee box. No. It doesn't look like it splits it that much.
You just know there's a bunker.
It looks like, all right, well, there's a bunker in front of the green. No, this thing does a U.
In the green.
And it's in the green. This one guy drove the green and thought it was a great shot.
And I think that was the most undulated green and the biggest out of all of them, because where we were, it went up and then it sloped right and then it sloped back right even more. So I was thinking, okay, well, let me just try and get it on the green. Let me just hit it straight kind of in the horseshoe aspect of it, and hopefully it funnels back down to the pin.
Because there wasn't enough undulation where if you tried that, it would happen.
Then I could just give myself maybe a 15-footer rather than trying to flop it and stick it 4 feet or whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not good, but that was my thought process. So I tried to bump it up there, but I guess I must have got underneath of it. It went right in the bunkers and it fried egg. And then I was just like, I'm out.
Yeah.
But you pitched it on.
Well, let's talk about the pitch first. I tried my best Phil Mickelson impression and was reminded how much I'm not Phil Mickelson.
Well, you're also not left-handed with the golf club.
True. So if Isaiah was there to play that shot for me,
he probably would have done it.
So exactly. But I'm not left-handed. I'm not Phil Mickelson. It went about 10 feet. I flubbed it, went right under it. So then I was presented with even a tougher predicament. I'm on the green, but in between me and the pin is about 8 feet of bunker. So I was like, all right, 58 degrees still in my hand. Might as well try and pick it clean. Left it short of the knoll. It ran off the knoll, back left, 20 feet, pick up, not making birdie. So the funniest part for me was the guy that drove the green, like I said a minute ago, and he thought it was a great shot till he gets up there. And then he has a 40-footer, 50-footer with a bunker in the way with no clue how to play it. Yeah. I mean, that's the kind of thing that's so cool about Winter Park is even if you hit a green, it's not you're not even guaranteed a par, let alone a good scenario.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but I was a little frustrated with my outcome. So I was kind of a little selfish at that point, trying to just kind of ignoring everybody. From what I heard, though, that aspect, since we had 11 people playing, there was maybe 4 or 5 guys telling them different strategies on how they would play it or how they think they were basically caddying for them. Yeah. It just goes to show that game and that skins match, it's the camaraderie that you get out of it. Just total strangers, just meeting up and then just playing. And then you got 4 guys telling this one guy, hey, this is how you should do it, or I would do it this way.
Yeah.
And that was just so awesome.
No, it proved the point of, like, it doesn't matter who gets the skin money. People just want to see people make birdies, and people want to see awesome shots. And at Winter Park, if you're making birdies, you at least made one really amazing shot along the way, because it takes amazing shots to make birdies at Winter Park.
Yeah. And then we get the 7.
Great hole. This was a true par 3.
It's the long one.
Yeah. 179.
Yeah.
Played 186, I think, right?
That's what we scoped it.
Yeah.
But you wanted to play it in the 70s because the way the green was. Here we go back to the greens.
Oh, my goodness.
The green was low on the bottom and then went up.
Just at a steady, 3-4% increase the whole way to the back. Entire time. And then finally plateaued at the end.
And with the table, is it tabletop, turtle top, or whatever you want to call it? It folds back down.
My brain's too obliterated from this past week.
Anyway,
tabletop, turtle.
If it goes left or right with some speed on the green, it's going to roll off. Let's just put it that way.
And we had 2 people hit the green.
2 people hit the green. Yeah. we had people that went short. We had people that went left. The pin was tucked on the highest point, and that was tucked top left of the green. I pulled it, and it was just tad. I mean, it was on line, and everybody's like, "Ooh, that's a great shot." And I'm like, "Okay." And then it goes left. Actually, I was very pleased with my approach shot.
Because you were in jail down there.
I was in jail because what I had to do, I had to go up over this hill and then it all sloped downward.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, why don't I just bump it into the grass, into the fringe, and to see if I can just hopefully let it die and then trickle on down. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a good strike. I just had a little too much heat on it. Yeah. But I was actually very pleased on that chip shot, and I knew the outcome. I mean, the percentage of actually making that birdie chip was very, very minimum. So I just said, whatever, let's try it. And that was another thing.
You got to go for the gusto at that point.
Exactly. And then you hit a nice shot, hit the right side of the green, but it fell into this huge, deep bunker.
I'm confused.
You were in the bunker, and I couldn't even see it.
No, I know. I'm confused, how it ended up there, because it just ricocheted off a fairly flat part of the green, what I thought was the only flat part of the green. And then, I get down in this bunker that, I'm like, jumping to see out of this dang thing, and made a good effort at it, put it to about 1.5 feet. Actually, it was one of a quality bunker shot of the day for me personally. So it just, then again, you got to go from making that birdie. So picked up on number 8, and this was a fun one. This is where we saw some
this is where we thought some guys could possibly be catching. I mean, it was playing 136 yards.
Yep. So most guys had like a wedge, maybe a 9-iron.
I think there was wind behind us because we had wind on the previous hole.
Yep.
And the pin was actually in the perfect spot. It was like basically front middle of the green, and the green actually sloped. Again, it went upwards. Right. As well. And it was actually very, very
It had like
large.
A false front. So like the pin was about 8 yards onto the green, but everything in front of this pin fell back off into this like kind of front collection area. Which was a common theme at Winter Park. Everything fell off the edges.
But that spot, if you were there, you can still putt it, especially with that pin location or chip, and still have a great opportunity to make birdie.
Yeah.
And this is where kids were sticking the green. One guy, he was about 5 feet. The other guy was about maybe 8 feet.
We had one kid.
We had three on the green for legit birdie opportunities
within 5 feet. And 2 of them sniffed the hole on the way by on the tee shots. The one kid hit a shot. He was a guy from Nashville University out of Belmont University in Nashville. But we had 2 kids down here. One moved down here to work, and one was his buddy just coming down to visit him. So shout out to those guys if you're listening. It was a pleasure playing with you guys. Well, his buddy, who was using not even his own clubs.
They just grabbed a bunch of stuff.
They throw together set, putter from the pro shop.
And he was a lefty.
So the fact that they found a full set of lefty clubs, kudos to you guys.
Yeah.
But so he hits this rainmaker of a shot. Took forever to come down. His ball mark inches from the hole. I mean, thought it was going in. Everybody was expecting drinks on him for the rest of the night.
He just missed his birdie, but his friend had a nice snuck it in there.
Yeah, his friend canned it. So, I mean, and then myself, I hit a pitching wedge, sniffed the hole, but then zipped back off that false front, and I had about a 25-foot pitch back up the hill. Guy that ended up right beside me. His also sniffed the hole and spun back. It was tough to hold that pin if you didn't get it past it.
Yeah, I hit a 9, hit it right at the pin, but past it, and it spun a little left, and then it just stopped.
Yeah,
but it was just shy of actually coming the funnel back down. Oh man, I thought I had that too because I put a great stroke on it. I felt like I read it real well.
Yeah,
but it was just that last little. I thought it was going to come back, but it didn't.
Yeah. Now we did get one birdie out of the group, like you said. So we're on the board.
We're on the
coming
board.
In.
We're like, all right, we hope we get this guy.
So,
but out of all the holes, that was definitely one that was I felt birdies were very makeable.
Yeah, everyone had a wedge in their hand, and the pin was slightly,
but
fairly
it was cool.
accessible.
It was. I mean, these kids are making great swings. They stuck them close. I was like, wow, we're playing golf.
Yeah.
Right. And then we get to 9, and we're on the final hole, and this is one of my favorite parts. We get up to the tee box. You look to the right. We have this massive putting green.
Yeah, so it's like their practice green there at Winter Park.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You just have to walk out past 9.
That's all you got to do.
And what was awesome,
all 228 yards of par 4, number 9.
Yeah. And we get to, and then you look, and there's this nice church-looking brick building, and there's actually a wedding going on. They just finished getting married, and you can hear them cheering on. So congratulations to.
It felt like after every swing we had a gallery with the clapping that was going on at this wedding.
So they were doing their thing, and this was cool because it was definitely a picturesque hole. It was gradually downhill. You had one left of it that was connected to 9. You had a fairway bunker off to the right, and then you had a little pot bunker right off to the left of the front edge of the green. And you had the parking lot, and then you can see the clubhouse, and and the patio, and you can just see it all, the sun setting.
If it had fescue on it, it belonged at Pinehurst. The way the whole setup. I just felt like I was looking down something at Pinehurst, but the way the bunkering was, and especially right around the greens, it was just so neat. Pine needles down your left side, behind the hole. It was a, like you said, picturesque hole to finish on. And right off the bat, the local dude, the old guy, swings a driver, almost hits a stick on the way by.
Yeah.
I mean, so first guy out of 11 on number 9 almost jars it for a 1 to close out the round. I mean, that was we all got excited. Some guys were thinking about laying up. Saw him almost jar it and said,
everybody had irons, and then or like whatever they had. It was 230. Whatever they had to hit their 230 club, they were all taking clubs to basically place the ball in the middle of the fairway and then have a nice wedge in.
Yep.
Once he did that, everybody put their irons back and got their 230 clubs out. I mean, we were seeing 4 irons, 3 irons, hybrids, 3 woods, whatever you can do to get it there. People were pulling that, and they were just swinging away. I was lucky enough. I got it on the green. The other kid who made that birdie putt on the previous hole, he had a 6-shot.
Yep.
Just stuck it on the green. You had guys in the bunker. 2 guys. You were in the bunker.
I was pin high in the bunker.
Pin high bunker back there. 2 guys were in there. You had some guys that tugged it a little bit, but everybody basically was trying to get it as close as they possible, because as we approached the green for the skin was an eagle. Yep. Someone in the first group got a 2 on the hole.
Yeah.
So now we're sitting there, crap.
And the cool thing, they set up closest to the pin. So they knew people were going to go for this green. So number 9, as an incentive for you to go to the green, Ginella set up it closest to the pin.
So now
someone stuck it to like 6 feet and missed the putt.
I know. That sucks too, because when you hit a shot like that, because you're not really – if I was playing that course not in the skins game, obviously I would be taking way more irons off the tee and really placing. And even Matt Ginella said, you're only taking 11 full shots.
Yeah.
The rest are wedges and putts, and if you're out, you're out. You're on to the next hole.
Yeah.
So now, and that kind of really that's where in between the ears really played the part, because it got you fired up, but now you're sitting there, pressure is on. You're thinking, 11 swings? Okay.
Yeah.
These better be some pretty damn good swings.
Put up or shut up.
Exactly. So now the pressure's on, because now you need to make effective, efficient, consistent swings, great ball striking to place the ball or put it where you need to do to get it close. Yeah. And then you got kids, because now you got guys who can, everybody's hitting at different distances. And you got guys who are just bombing the ball. So now what are you going to do?
Guys can smoke it out there.
Yeah, they were smoking it. But it was just awesome to see. And then, you had the next 2 groups come in, and this was my favorite part, is when we get there, we're all on the patio, we're grabbing drinks.
We gotta hold up, homie. How'd you finish on 9? You say you drove the green on 9.
Oh, I birdied. 2-putt birdie.
2-putt birdie.
I actually came just shy. I think if I had a little bit more speed, I would have jarred it.
Well, hey, I can't let a birdie go unnoticed. You got to give kudos where kudos is due.
I'm sitting here thinking of, I missed the putt. I got to go for 2 here.
Hey, I mean, it wasn't a skin. It wasn't the $1,200 skin, but
yeah, I know.
It was a birdie, and I like to acknowledge birdies when birdies are due.
Okay. Yeah. I did birdie that hole, which actually is awesome, because I love one thing about when I go play golf on any course. If I'm having a bad round or a good round, I want to end the round that's my goal, is to end 18 on a good note. My home track, I hate 18. It's a 450-yard par 4 all uphill. It's just with a huge. It's a bowl. It's a like 2-tier almost. It stinks. We all hate it, and but it's also what's also I love about it is the challenge.
Yeah.
So anytime I play any course, when it comes to 18, I want to play well. I want to score decent, because that's just going to get, I'm going to have a positive note and I want to come back. It sucks when say you had a bad day, that happens, or you had a good day and then you just end your last couple of shots and you just score poorly. You're like, oh, really? And then it's kind of a little bit of a damper, and then you have to try and forget about it. And then, yeah. So ending on a birdie was phenomenal.
100%. And I did my best to try and match that too out of the inside bunker, but it was tough. And kudos to Winter Park again. I'll give as many kudos as I want, because this place is just phenomenal. The freaking sand was perfect.
Oh my goodness.
It was unreal. It was really unreal, but it makes it really hard to hit like 2-foot bunker shots because of the downhill slope I had coming away from that bunker. I had to land it right on the fringe
to get
it to go. I left it short.
Yeah.
So,
but it wasn't as if it fell back into it.
No.
Into the bunker, because that would have sucked.
Just right on the edge.
Right on the edge. And your best putt of the day was with the wedge.
Yeah,
let's
not talk about it.
Okay. You just pulled. He's just like, all right, well, this is over. My bag's on the other side of the green. I'm just gonna.
I Robert Strebbed it, and I gave it a look. And if people don't know what Robert Streb is, just look up Robert Streb wedge, and you'll find out what I'm talking about. But anyway, so yeah, that capped our round, but definitely didn't cap the fun for the evening.
No, because that's the best part, and that's what it's all about. And that's when you get the true perspective on when someone tells you it's a different perspective of golf. The patio is right there. There's a guy with a hot dog machine out there. You go inside, you
straight from New York City too. Just
exactly
street cart from New York City.
Legit street cart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got that guy. He's making hot dogs. I'm starving because the last time we ate was early lunch, and we've been walking around all day.
Mm-hmm.
So you go there, everybody's coming in. The last 2 groups come in. Janelle's the final group. They all come in. You're watching him play. I mean, you're basically right next to the grass basically rolls right into the patio. We had 2 guys yell 4, and the ball's flying at us.
2 guys yell 4, about 3 or 4 more that should have yelled 4.
Yeah, it's just, plus the sun was going down, so it was probably tough. But it was funny to see. Balls were just flying.
And poor Matt Ginella, and I know you loved this part of the evening, he almost hit it into the hot dog stand.
Yeah, he was right there. And then that's what you were saying. Using the Texas wedge, he just pulled out his putter and just popped it right on the green.
And not even from right off the green. We're talking 40 feet off the green in the pine straws.
Mulch area.
20 yards of rough in between him. And now we say rough. It was mowed rough around that area. But yeah.
It's not the rough you and I know.
No, Matt Ginella with the Texas wedge from back there.
Yeah, that was awesome to see.
And getting chirped at the same time. I mean, 3 groups had finished by then. So everybody was, having some libations and feeling good at that point.
And then once everybody was done, all the bags were just chilling on the patio. Everybody was sitting. There's chairs. They put on the lights. They got those hanging little lights, which was nice to see.
Really
it was awesome to see. And he's there. He's mingling with you. He's shooting the shit. You're talking about the round, and basically what he said. He goes, "Isn't this great?" And he always talks about it too. And I know when he does his presses, he was even saying that he speaks what he truly believes in, and he's right. I mean,
for better or for worse, he just speaks his heart, and there's a lot to be said about that from a guy who held the positions he has in his life and in his career, whether it was with Sports Illustrated or Golf Magazine or with the Golf Channel. He is a decorated mind and voice within the game, and sometimes when people get reserved because they think they're going to either affect something or send the wrong kind of vibes when they speak their mind. And Matt Ginella is not afraid to do that because he knows what his passions are and he believes in them so much that he feels great about what he has to say.
Yeah. And then from that to the camaraderie to the guy who won, the 3 winners, the closest to the pin winners, you know, he stands up, he goes, "Don't anybody leave yet. Everybody get a drink. It's on me."
60
guys getting drinks.
Now, granted, he won.
He won a good bit of money, but still,
you don't have to do that.
You don't.
You can be selfish.
We all
selfish. It's not even selfish.
It's not. No, it's not selfish.
Like you earned
it. You know what? We actually have that with our group back home. Is there was kind of a debate because some guys felt obligated that if they won money, they had to buy rounds for people. Yeah, that's a nice gesture. But I'm not going to sit there and say you owe me a drink because you won. You went out there. You played the best. You were the best player out there. You hit the dang shots you need to do, and you won the game. You deserve that money that you said, "Hey, I'm going to invest this money on myself."
At the beginning, everyone put down that money wholeheartedly, knowing that they could go out there and earn it back.
I'm going to invest my money and hopefully get a return. Did we do that? No. But did that guy who won did it? He did.
Yeah.
And, you know, he just was like, you know, and this is what it's about. It's about the camaraderie. He bought drinks for everybody. You know, we sat there. We met some, you know, golf in your state was there. We were really shooting this shit.
Shout out to Matt Cardis, you know, just hanging out and being one of the people. And I think
we signed his truck.
Yeah. I mean, it goes back to just and for those of you who don't know Matt Cardis that may listen to us, Matt Cardis at Golf in Your State. I've been following him for what seems like a very long time now, from when he started traveling in his Subaru to now seeing him have the sponsorships he does with Adidas, with Dormy Workshop, with Electric Golf.
It's all Cut Golf on there.
Cut Golf ball. I mean, the dude has went out there and earned everything that's on the side of that van and inside of that van. The man has put in the hours and the time to work. And to see him just out there mucking it up, it just goes back to like proving that he's just genuine and he loves the game and he loves people. And he was exhausted. He didn't have to let everyone come over and hang out around his truck. He just spent the whole week repping every brand as hard as he could that he represents because he loves it. And he let everyone that was there, if they wanted to, come over and sign his truck. So, I mean, it's little things like that that go a really long way. And like with Matt Cardis and with Link Soul, who were there, and handing out stuff to the winners. I know Matt Ginella is a big proponent of Link Soul, but also they didn't have to be there either. You know, it's just little things like that that really help build experience and build camaraderie around this kind of event.
Oh, for sure. There was even merch. They were handing out merch. Just here you
like
go.
Hotcakes.
Here.
I mean, it was shout out Link Soul. I'm wearing their hat right now.
Yeah.
You know,
it was awesome. And Matt's like, here, give this stuff to everybody. And it was great to see. And then he said, everybody huddle around. We're taking a huge picture. Okay. And that's actually on Winter Park's Instagram. Search.
And we'll be reposting it later tonight once we let the dust settle a little bit. But you know, we just I mean, and the best part about it all is anyone can go do it. It's not exclusive. You don't have to have an invite. Just call early. Call in advance. It's open to the public. Even if you don't play in the skins match, you can go play it yourself.
There's signs everywhere that say public welcome.
Yeah, I mean, that's the best part about this place is they just want people to play.
For sure.
So, guys, that's our Winter Park update, round, conclusive interview, podcast thingy.
If you're ever in the Orlando, we need some rest.
Our brains are hosed. We got 36 more tomorrow, but and we'll keep you updated with that as always, and might do some round recap after we get home. I know after we play 36 tomorrow, we're not doing a round recap.
No, but what I can tell you, if you're ever in the Orlando area, go to Winter Park, Florida. Go to Winter Park Golf Course. See if you can get on. Play that. If you can get to the Skins game on Friday afternoon, get in that. It's definitely a blast. You'll meet great people from all over the country, from Orlando, from even just the state itself, even other countries. It's just everywhere, man. It's just awesome. The friendships, they're gonna last a lifetime. And you know, we made connections tonight, and we'll definitely be staying in touch with them, you know.
Yeah, just people reaching out and saying, man, you know, really enjoy playing with you. You got to come to my place and play. And, you know, vice versa. I'm telling people that I met that we, you know, from the greater DC area, you got to come down to Ocean City and see the course I play. You got to come down if you're ever in. And it's just that kind of thing. It's like, all right, I go play your place, you come play mine. You know, it's like, it's all about just camaraderie and growing people's knowledge of overall golf and where courses are and just having fun via the game.
Yeah. Enjoy the walk.
Enjoy the walk. Good night.
That's the stuff. One shot at a time.